This is the topic 3 review video for part 1 of our Regents review online session 1. This is on literal equations. Again, these are just my tips for success. I hope you're in a nice quiet spot, that you have all your supplies. Just another reminder, please pause the video and try these problems. There's going to be one final video at the end. If you struggled with any of the literal equations and you don't understand the solutions, that last video you can watch. It walks you step by step through how to solve each of them. So if you need a little more support in that way, that will be there at the end of this playlist. So let's get started. Literal equations. These are equations with lots and lots of variables, typically, okay? And they're going to ask you to either like express x in terms of or solve for y in terms of. And the thing you want to focus on is this first piece. What are they asking you to isolate? The good news is all of our rules for algebra and solving equations still apply here. So in this first example, and we're going to do 2 examples together, it says the formula for the area of a trapezoid is here. The height h of the trapezoid may be expressed as. So this means they want us to isolate h. The first thing I'm going to do is write down the equation. So a equals 1/2 b sub 1 plus b sub 2. Those subscripts are just numbers that differentiate b1 from b2. It's not an exponent. It's not a number that you need to get rid of when you're solving, okay? Those are just telling you that this base b1 is different from this base b2. And we say b sub 1 and b sub 2. I want to get h alone. So the first thing I do is I figure out where is h? How many terms is it in? Since all of these things are being multiplied together, this is one term. Which means I can use division to isolate things, okay? The first thing I want to get rid of is the 1/2. The denominator of this fraction is a 2. So there's 2 ways you can get rid of a fraction. The first way is to get rid of your denominator. A denominator means divide by 2. So to get rid of it, I'm going to multiply by 2. On the left side, I'm going to get 2a equals. On the right side, this divide by 2 and this times 2 go away, and I have 1 times b sub 1 plus b sub 2 times h. The next thing I need to do is I've got to separate this h from what's in the parentheses here. And you'll notice there's this 1 hanging out here, but 1 times anything is just the same thing. So I really don't need the 1 there, okay? To get rid of the parentheses b1 plus b2, since they're being multiplied by h, to break those apart, I'm going to divide by b sub 1 plus b sub 2. So these will divide out, and what I get is 2a over b sub 1 plus b sub 2 equals h. And now h is by itself. I'm going to go ahead and look and see if I can find that answer. And I do all the way down here, answer choice 4. The second way that you can get rid of that fraction, just as an alternate solution. So if you've got A equals 1/2 B sub 1 plus B sub 2 H. The other way you could get rid of this is instead of just focusing on the denominator, you could multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So 2/1. 2/1 is just 2, so this side becomes 2A. 2/1 and 1/2 cancel. So you get B sub 1 plus B sub 2 times H. And the rest of it is solved the exact same way. Let's try one more example together, and then you will be off to practice some on your own. So if I look at this, the formula for volume of a cone is this guy right here. The radius R of the cone may be expressed as, so we're isolating R. The first thing I want to take a look at is where is R and how many terms is it in? So R is right here. All of these things are multiplied together, so this is a single one term. So I can multiply and divide to try to get things by themselves. The first thing I'd like to get rid of is this fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by my denominator. My denominator is 3, and a fraction means divide by 3. So to get rid of divide by 3, I'm going to multiply by 3. On the left, I'll get 3v equals. The 3's are gone, and it becomes 1 pi r squared h. I'm still trying to get pi by its, nope, just kidding. Still trying to get r by itself. Pi and h are attached to r with multiplication, so we get rid of it using division. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi h. That's going to give me 3v over pi h equals r squared. The last thing I need to do is get rid of the squared. The opposite of squaring is taking the square root. So I'm going to square root both sides. The squared and the square root cancel. So I get r equals the square root of 3v over pi h. And that answer is right here, choice 1. The first one you're going to try is right here, number 1. So I'd like you to try this one. One thing I would encourage you to do is look back at your examples and try to solve this one by following along step by step with the examples that we just did. The first thing I'm going to show you is the hint right now. Here's your hint. Get rid of that fraction first. Go ahead and pause and see if you can solve the rest of it. Here comes the solution. Again, the last video in this playlist will walk you step by step through how to solve this. Feel free to pause the video and take a closer look at the solution if you need. Here's problem number 2. Go ahead and pause the video. There is a hint if you get stuck. Here's your hint. Here's your solution. So go ahead and pause, take a look at that solution, see if you did it in a similar way, a different way. Make sure you got the same answer and jot down any questions you have. Here's number 3. Go ahead and pause it. Here's your first hint. Get T sub F alone. And here's your steps right here. You should get answer choice 2. So feel free to pause if you want to take a longer look at that solution. Here's number 4. Go ahead and pause and try it. Here's your hint. We are trying to get y by itself. So pause and keep trying. Here's your solution. 2 more. Here we go. Here's number 5. Actually, I think I might have lied. There might be 3 more. Anyway, regardless. Pause and try. Here's your hint. Here's your solution. Okay. Next one, number 6. Pause the video and try. Here comes your hint. You're trying to get X alone. There is a second hint. So if you're still stuck, keep watching. Here's hint number 2. How do we get rid of parentheses algebraically? How do I get rid of those? There's a hint. Pause it, give it a try, and then come back to check your answer. Here's the solution. We've got to distribute. I like to underline or circle my terms that have the variable I'm trying to isolate. If it's in more than one spot, you've got to try to combine those terms if you can. Since these both have AXs, we can combine them to one AX. And now I want to move everything that doesn't have an X to the opposite side. Okay, last one. Here comes your hint. There's 2 ways to get rid of 5/9. Here comes your solution. I showed 2 ways, okay? Solution 1 is multiplying by the reciprocal, 9/5. Solution 2 is getting rid of that denominator first. So that's the end of our literal equations. If you really struggled on this, please go on and watch this last video that walks you through step-by-step how to solve a few of these. And then come in and get some additional practice from me. Thanks so much.